All right. Good to see you, sir. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself for the viewers?
Well, I mean, everybody already knows who I am. They see the hat, but
for those who don't know,
well, for those who don't know, I'm Johnson, Blacklight in Nasona, and yeah, I mean, you're gonna get to know me pretty soon. If you don't know me, but you should.
Yeah, man. And where do you train out of?
10 Kicks MMA.
10 Kicks over in Seattle, right?
Yeah, 1300 and Stoneway Avenue.
Okay, cool. I haven't actually been up there, but you guys have been down to see us a couple times.
Why didn't you come up with more?
We will one of these times because I have this
came up. You will with.
I have this weird thing about being a coach going to other gyms.
See, that's the aspect.
Just to spar. But you guys are dope, so yeah, we'll put something together. Plus, we already talked, we're going to try to have some people down to our gym, do some sparring, maybe some open sparring. We're just talking about when and how to go about it. So it'd be nice to get some fresh faces in there.
I say just randomly put in a hat, pick it up.
Oh, we could do that.
That date. All right, let's try it out.
Like Sunday, no, I don't know, 4th of July.
I'm down.
We get some 4th of July rounds. We did it a couple years ago for Valentine's Day. Then we did some Halloween sparring. We did some turkey round. We've always done little gimmicky ones, but not for a while. I don't think actually. Should do that again.
I feel like the turkey one would be awesome because a lot of people. I mean, not the turkey Thanksgiving, but instead of going out and playing football. Just get together and spar or even go to
a lot of people in our sport don't follow what we call ball sports.
Yeah, I mean, traditional sports. I don't watch MMA. I don't watch anything. I think the last time I watched a UFC fight was when Stanley basically told me to come to the gym, but prior to that, years. I don't
really watch UFC either. I'll watch one FC sometimes, but only if there's a specific couple fights that I really want to see.
Yeah.
But I'll go on YouTube. But we do this shit. It's I don't need to watch a ton of other people. I do because I always pick up new little techniques and I'm going to work that in today for sparring or just little visual cues. But
I honestly think it's boring.
Yeah, watching the actual competition sometimes. But there's some good fights out there. I think it's boring. That's true. Especially when you go there, you live it, watching other people do it.
Man, there's always that thing in the back of my mind when I go watch, even when I see UFC fighters and things like that fight. It's they don't fight to a level that I expect them to fight for being at that top of a level, I feel like. And it just kind of bores me. And I don't know. I'd much rather just do it, honestly.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean. There's definitely a higher quality. Don't worry about it. Higher, I always talk about people that are specialists, and then they have to kind of come down in certain areas to perform at a certain show or a certain style. People that are high level Muay Thai or high level boxing, or Pat was on. He's a high level wrestler, but you're gonna have to adapt in a lot of ways.
But I mean, I don't get that either. It's the Ronda Rousey thing. Oh, she's a high level judo player. She should have just done that.
Yeah,
because even if you're that great at something,
I have to do that little head movement. I need to say that shit. I'm I
think if you're great at something, just do that. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. I mean, if the promotion don't like you because you were just at as many other promotions out there.
Oh yeah, and there's more popping up all the time.
Exactly. It's mom and pop shops.
But no, I think that's actually kind of good because even with the ones that kind of pop up, there'll be some competitions for a few years or however long. And then either they get big or they kind of they fizzle out. You know what I mean? But it kind of gives the ones that are here to stay kind of more of that legitimacy.
What would you say causes them to fizzle out? Because I have an idea, but within those smaller.
I think, man, it's hard to run an event. So my crew guy, Brian Jones, he ran Absolute Chaos for a long time. Him and his a couple of partners, and they really didn't make any money. They tried to have a really good show because they wanted to have fighters on, and it was an amateur event. So you're getting, you're not having to pay your fighters and stuff like that, but you're getting a good venue and you're putting out good gear and stuff like that. You're actually trying to support your fighters. But everything costs, man. The state costs a bunch of money. Like renting a ring or a cage, that costs money unless you have your own setup, tear down, location, catering, bar, all that kind of stuff. Ticket costs. And if you're trying to have, like, that's why you see, we were talking about this the other day, you see a lot of fights are about $50 when back when I was starting
Ticketmaster and add another $40 on top of that.
But I mean, like, you see my old posters here from 2012, GA is fucking $25.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was like 20 to 25 back then. And you see just kind of gradually go up. But I mean, as with cost of living, but I think that the cost to put on a promotion is a lot of money. So you have to have like a good financial backing for a long time, thinking long term versus thinking one show at a time or even 2 to 3 shows at a time and like hoping that you make your money back in that.
Here's my thought on it.
To a degree.
When did you say that having not necessarily camaraderie, but you know how within your gym, everyone's like super close? And you guys have built this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
through hardship, yeah,
it's like within my business, I've had a hard time hiring people, but within the people that I did hire and I put all my time into it, it made my business run a lot easier and a lot smoother. Mm-hmm. And I think within those smaller gyms that end up fizzling out, I mean, not saying all of them, but they haven't built their network in the community. Because when you build your network in the community, everybody comes back in and they pour in. I mean, I'll come out and work for free with someone that I care about. Yeah. You know, like I will. Yeah, I'll come out and help out. And if they're going down, I mean, sure, I'll drive all the way up here from Bellevue. You know, but that's the community, that aspect of care and love and respect for each other. And as long as you can build that within, or like within that, I think you can do anything, honestly.
That's true. Especially, the people that are there to support are going to show up. Yeah. Like, just like how you said, you came down here, you know, like but then there's the places that were like, you know, other people find support in other avenues, you know, and that's why you'll see, I don't want to say cliques, but you'll see like little groups of people that affiliate with each other and other little groups and stuff.
Like high school?
Not high school. I always say like high school is the way we assimilate ourselves into modern, like adult society, because that's kind of how we learn to be with a large group of people at once to a degree. But just like building those little networks and stuff, like there's so much, especially up here in the Pacific Northwest, like, there's so much growth to be made. And so it's kind of like, it's interesting that this is the 10th episode of the podcast. A lot of growth already. And I really appreciate everybody that's reached out, helped support, like the guys at Koga, Omar and Joe and everybody. They've been resharing stuff. Karma Combat's been helping. My team's been helping step up. The guests and everything. So I just started this to sit down and bullshit with everybody, and everyone's like, "Ooh, I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it." And so
finally did it.
Well, no, I mean, just as it's happening. And so now I'm having to go up to like 2 episodes a week, which isn't bad because that's growth, but you want to be able to pivot and adapt. And, the network I'm feeling like is just building very quickly. Yeah. So I appreciate everybody on that because it is not easy. But
you're not part of the community though, because you're a pretty nice guy.
Thank you. Thank you. That helps.
And very, very lovable in a way, you know. And appreciate you. I mean, that builds up your support. Yeah. So that makes things, I wouldn't say it makes things easier, but it makes things livable in a way.
Yeah. Well, you know, you're not going to come on here and be like, oh, God, I have to deal with this guy. He's such an asshole. Like, I don't want to be that guy in general. Just
why would you even have him here?
I wouldn't even show. But when you're building that community, man, just like I'll go out of my way too. You know, and speaking of which, I'm wearing my Muay shirt. This is, you know, here Muay Thai, hear the crowd yell, wait. Haven't gotten one. This is me first getting some, but we'll work on that. But I got this Muay windbreaker up here. It's pretty nice. This is going to be going up on our giveaway. I mentioned this on my last episode. So we're not sure exactly, my bad. Not sure exactly how I'm going to do the giveaway, but I'm going to let it hang right there for the remainder of the episode.
should have like a number in your head and tell everyone there's a comment, and whatever that number is, that person gets it.
I think so. It's going to be something
Or
right
sharing.
along those lines. Yep, it's going to be right around there. Or like everybody that shares it, like your name goes into a hat or something, like you said earlier. So you know, maybe use your hat or mine. We're both wearing hats today.
I feel like the cowboy hat is
That's classic.
Yeah, bro.
Stetson?
I had a Stetson, but my dog chewed it up. I got a Belgian Malinois.
Oh yeah,
man. I couldn't even fight that dog because he'd probably take me.
I wouldn't want to fight a dog, period, unless it's like this big.
No, you know what Belgians, right?
Oh yeah,
man,
huge.
We were playing catch at the park one day. That dog literally took me out trying to get the ball because he has no stop. Like there's no chill in that dog. He just flatlined me, and I was like, all right, next time, come on. I dropped my shoulder. We were fighting.
You gotta fucking take his back and fucking roll.
I don't know. You know how dogs?
Yeah, I hate fighting animals, man. My dog used to just freak out too.
Their heads are hard too.
Mm-hmm. Well, they go primal too. They're not worried about. They're just trying to get away. They're being trapped. They're not thinking like we are.
Nah.
But yeah, man. Well, thank you for coming on. So let's talk about your last fight. It was Koga. I can't remember which one. My apologies. But I know you fought Malik. I had Malik on last time. Sorry we didn't get you on first. I know that was a little... You were like, what the fuck, man?
I had to get back to you. I was like, bro, really?
But actually, no Malik through G. His girlfriend, known G for years and years. And he's been trying to get on the show for a little bit. I was trying to get him on before the fight. Because he was, trying to do his thing, whatever. And, but yeah, saw, obviously, like, I'm not on here, like, I like everybody, like, I don't have any issues. But I saw there was a little bit of back and forth between you guys. I don't know if you want to comment on that, if you want to talk about the fight at all, or.
I just got a little thing to say on it, because, like, even before the fight, I've never heard of him before in my life. But it's like, the people who know me, I'm in my own bubble with the community that I'm with, and always welcoming people in. So it's like, other than that, I go to the gym, train, I work, and I go to sleep. So then to go to the gym one day and to hear somebody talking out to a world that I've never heard, like not even expecting my radar, telling the whole world that I'm a washed up fighter, and then just posting a whole bunch of things. It got me a little bit, but then I was like, I don't even know who it is, so why do I care? And it just kept going and kept going. And then after a while, like, I'm not even on social media that much. So I just kind of put it out of my head. And then Omar came to the gym one day with his video camera because I feel like I'm always recorded. And he's like, so what, are you ready for your fight, Johnson?
And this is Omar from Koga.
Yeah.
Shout out to Omar.
He was like, you ready for your fight, Johnson? I was like, what fight?
What fight? I forgot.
Yeah, because like with everything going on in life, like, there's just so much other BS to deal with.
Yep.
All you gotta do before you even get in the cage is just show up to train. That's the one, like Stanley says, my coach. The one thing you got is just show up and train. Yeah. I deal with everything else, just show up and train. Don't think about anything else. And I mean that's
a great way to simplify things.
Yeah. You don't overthink it.
No other politics. You be the fighter, I'll be the coach.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, definitely the politics. I hate the politics.
I don't know anybody who likes the politics, man. I cannot stand it. And I tell this to my students, well, not much, but as a coach at the gym, you see about 30%, maybe less, maybe 25% of what actually happens. It's like the conversations, all the other bullshit, the fucking fight promoting, blah, 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 dealing with all that other stuff. So students, count your blessings that you're not in that aspect, because it gets thick, man. But again, the kind of person that you are, the kind of person that you have as a coach, blah, 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 that goes a long way for the people that you're dealing with too.
Definitely. I mean, it's within some of the fights that I've had, I'm not going to say which promotions or whatever, but within that aspect of it, some of them are very rough because, like, I have a very set way when I am fighting. I show up a day before the weigh-ins, need a hotel room because I don't want to drive however long it is. and just relax and kind of be in my own little space. And I think with like the last 6 fights, I have spent more money than what I made.
That's also not uncommon.
But I mean, with the peace aspect of it and doing what you love, that's why I work. So that I can come out and have fun and be able to relax. And then afterwards, it's like, yeah, I did great.
Yep.
And then go back to work.
Well, and part of, like, to your touch on a point, you kind of spend more money at times than you make. I always feel like that whenever I hit that, I'm like, this is just an investment in myself or investing in my future. Because if you're planning on having any sort of relevance after your fight career itself, all of those things are going to come into play. Those investments in yourself. So, and your business that you're investing yourself into, hopefully they can kind of become their own operating thing so you can have multiple ways to earn income.
Yeah. I'm definitely blessed to be able to have the knowledge and build that knowledge aspect of it and the drive to have a business. Because my first coach, Clinton, he always stated, like, the fighting aspect is a backup, but it's not a backup. What you need to focus on first is to have money to be able to enjoy what you're doing. Because at the very end of the day, I hate not having money.
Takes money to make money in that regard too.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever been to the point where you have $5 in your name, you have a half a tank, and you gotta get to work?
Yes, too many times.
And then you make the bad decision to pull over and buy something at the store that's like $3, and then now you're taking the coins.
Did you follow? You follow me around?
No, that was
Is this
me,
the Truman
bro.
Show? Like, what the fuck? If this is my life's the Truman Show, I'm fighting the producers. My shit's bro. I used to drive a shit car. Let my best friend Alicia let me live with him. We should be like, I need to borrow $5 to get home for gas. Yup. And then be like, this is when you could actually get a little bit of gas.
$2 will get you somewhere, you know?
Yeah, or even, I mean, it's still pretty close to the same price. I'm just saying, like, I had a small shitty car, not a fucking truck, you know?
Oh, I got a truck that,
yeah, gas guzzler. Even a 4-cylinder truck still, like, you're pushing a lot of weight.
Yeah. I mean, in Seattle too, going up in hills.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
That's why I got the BMW diesel.
I don't envy you living in Seattle, man. Like, it's not terrible when you get into, like, the housing areas and stuff, but, like, the downtown is so fucked.
I live on the east side, the better side of Seattle.
There you go. Yep.
But driving through, it's like, you've been in downtown lately, right?
Oh, yeah, a few weeks ago. Like,
how bad it's gotten to that extent of it. Like, I think one of my most pissed off moments was actually up north in Everett. I was getting a haircut, and I parked my car. I came out, and I was getting a ticket. And I look across the street, there's 4 people smoking, doing whatever they're doing. There's another guy that's probably on something with a cart rolling in the middle of the street. And I look at the lady, I'm like, you're going to give me a ticket and I'm paying my taxes, but you won't do nothing about that?
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
It's because she can get the money for sure from you and not have a confrontation. The other ones.
Oh, she don't know though. No,
yeah, I know. Yeah, that's true. But like legally, easy money right there. It's fucked.
I mean, just tear it up, throw it away, forget about it.
I don't think that's the best thing to do. I think they keep track of that kind of stuff, man.
I mean, I used to do that at 18. I thought it never came back. It's like the tolls. Oh, I did. Hopefully I don't hear this, but the tolls, if you go through, you go through it, right? And don't pay it for a whole year and then wait till the next year when your tabs expired. They drop that all the way down to like $50, even if you owe like $500 or something.
Oh, really?
They drop it down, you pay that, and you get your tabs.
I had no idea.
I had no idea, and I did it. And I did it every year.
You're like, ooh, I got the sneaky feet. Oh, hell yeah. Well, so how many fights you got? You said you had like 45, 50 fights, something like that?
Yeah, I got so many fights.
I know it's been a long time because I remember meeting you in like 2013, 2014, and I was like, damn, this guy's fucking good.
Back when I was just a little kid.
Yeah, I started late, so I'm like way older than everybody and just getting started. Fuck.
I mean, age is done by a number in the sport, I think.
Yeah, but like physicality, once you can't heal as fast. How old are you?
I'm about to be 31 here.
Oh man,
21st.
wait! I'm about to be 41 at the end of the year, so just wait.
All I gotta say is Africans don't like. I am gonna be young forever. I always tell myself within each year, "Yep, I'm 25 again."
I actually feel fairly young, but like I got like a bunch of that old like Nordic blood, so it's like Viking shit. So like my beard gets like bright red.
Does the beard ever like if you let it grow, how big does it get?
Fucking like nasty. Like I call it my "don't talk to me" beard because it gets fucking. You're like I don't want to get like too close to that.
I try to grow a beard and it turns into like the split of the Nile right here. I try to comb it over and like an hour later, it's over. Yeah, you just kind of try to cover up that little split. Right when you walk out the house, or even half hour later, it just comes back apart. It's like Jesus, like let there.
I think I might have seen you do that before. Like, did you do that before a fight?
Yeah,
at one point.
At one point, I think
did you color it?
Nah.
Why did I think you colored that one?
I do the top of my hair, but all right here, that's just straight.
Super signature look of you've got, man. I fucking love it. I know. So he walked into can't remember, it was it was when he fought Matt Eustace.
Oh.
Yeah. Walked into the bar and I'm like, you're wearing the hat. I'm like, hey. He was like fucking just standing out. So what's happening? But yeah, man. Fucking that was a good fight too.
That was a fun one.
That was at War, I think. War.
Yeah, War
like
kickboxing.
That.
I love kickboxing, bro.
Yeah.
It's like 12, 14 ounce gloves. It's like
you just
a pillow fight, you know? You can do whatever you want. Like
away. Some leg kicks and those body kicks with the shins. Oh, that's my favorite.
Oh, yeah. I need to do those more. For some reason, I just forget.
Mm-hmm. I think Juan fought that night. That's why we were there.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a good fight. He just fought this last weekend too. Did pretty well. Didn't get the decision, but that's okay. It happens.
It happens.
Yeah. A lot of people disagree, but not everybody knows what they're looking at. We're still kind of waiting to talk to who was looking at what, just to see what we can adjust to. Blah blah blah. You know, the sport goes win some, lose some.
Yeah. I mean, I always said you get a lot more from your losses than you do your wins.
Man, like every single guest I've had on, we have talked exactly about that.
Yeah. I remember as an amateur, I lost my first fight and then my second fight. I got put to sleep, but it was at the Koga show. Mm-hmm. So there's a Hawaiian kid who had way more experience than me. Came down, his opponent fell through, and then my coach was like, go. And I had no experience really, but it was just like this tough, like I can beat anyone.
Oh no.
Which I couldn't at then, but
hold on. You just remember you said that I was a young kid, thought I could beat anyone at the time. It happens.
When I came into the gym, like the first time, nobody knew me, of course, and they were sparring over at the Roosevelt.
Yep, that's where I met you. UFC Roosevelt with Taki.
Yeah, and they were sparring. I walked in, I was like, "Can I join you guys?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have any experience? No, I got in some street fights. I'm just afraid that if I got in there and I fought, I'd just see red and I'd just stop.
You're just that guy.
Yeah, I was that guy. I got up there and this pro fighter, CJ, actually, no, I think it was Ardani or CJ, kicked me in the head.
Yeah.
Like that, I still kept going forward. So my coach was like, you can't really teach that.
Yeah.
You know, that drive.
Yep, exactly.
But I went home, I was like, oh my head.
Yeah, you go home, you're like, I definitely am in a different class of fighters.
Yeah.
It's just a different thing. Like, I don't know anybody who hasn't been in like some street, maybe a few people haven't been in like street fights or high school fights, but
I still got those on YouTube.
Oh shit.
Got some on YouTube. Back in like 11th grade, bro. I watched that. I was
it's always been like little scuffles and shit, but yeah.
Were you a little fighter back then?
Yeah, I used to I told the story on here before, like the neighbor kid used to walk down from the next street up. His name was Reggie, and then other neighbor kid would come across the street. We're like 5 or 6. So play mosh pit in the front yard, but we would just fight. Yeah. We would just fight each other. I remember punching Reggie so hard in the stomach, kind of thing. But like always getting in little scuffles, man. Fucking, how do you not? I don't get it. I mean, I don't get how people don't get in like little.
We lived in the best era. I mean, probably a lot before that they did, but I remember back then we'd go over to a high school And then everybody would go out either behind the basketball courts or something, and we'd just have a fight club.
Every school had that because we used to go off to people's random houses, like one of them was like Mike Easter or something like that. But yeah, same thing. Fucking put on gloves up, and there's like 100 kids in a big ass circle. And after about like 30 minutes, an hour, the cops show up and like, get out of here, kids. That was it. Yeah, always bunch of people fighting each other. No skill.
We thought we had skill though.
Oh, you had skill for the high school class that you're in, like who, like developing that pecking order. But that's about it.
I got my butt beat.
Yeah, same.
But it was fun though.
Yeah, you also find out what you're made of in that. Like, you're like, oh, okay, I can take a lot of damage, or it's not the end of the world. Yeah. Especially if you find out like boxing gloves aren't that bad. They're really not that bad. So, but I will say the people that show up to train or to fight or in those situations wearing MMA gloves, like that's where you might be cracking some jaws, you might be busting some faces, but it still happens.
I mean, that's why I like the kickboxing. Because like when you go from MMA to kickboxing and you go get some, like I watch some of the other guys and they're just like so afraid of those bigger gloves. I'm like,
afraid of the bigger gloves?
Yeah, because the kickboxing like 14, 16 ounces.
Yeah, or 12s.
So 12s. But some of them are like so timid to get hit by it that I've seen anyways that war kickboxing, or they just go all haywire. But whenever I see those other guys, I'm like, I don't think, maybe come on and try MMA. Yeah. Because then after that, you kind of switch over, go back to kickboxing, and then you're no longer afraid and you can be a badass.
So I mean, those little gloves, even the puffies that you train with, you get cracked. Yeah, it's just like But also, as a coach, when we're doing Muay Thai practice, like you're not wearing MMA or puffy gloves, not from Muay Thai. Like we'll do MMA rounds later. You fucking go do your thing. But
I mean, Juan though, even with the big gloves,
yeah, he's got a. I'm not gonna say, motherfucker's got some.
I'm gonna say hands. But I mean,
I've literally watched one grab a roll of quarters and then wrap his hand. No, I'm just kidding. I've not literally watched him do that. He's just got solid hands.
Yeah, I mean, I love sparring with him. Like I was telling you before, he's came down the past 2 fights and just gave me hard rounds. And I mean, it definitely got me mentally ready for the fight to be able to go those hard rounds, especially with him, and then always leaving with a bruised rib. But
oh, dude, I was holding pads and my sternum was hurting after. I'm like, dude, your fucking knees hurt. Holding pads as he's warming up for the fight. I'm like, sucks.
Feel bad for the other guy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he ate some knees too. Juan fucking kicked his elbow. He had like a nice golf ball on his ankle.
I remember that the one when I fought Matt. Afterwards, I was talking with them because we were both like, our feet.
Aren't you always after fucking kickboxing and Muay Thai?
Yeah, I think that's like the worst part about it.
I've never been able to not walk out of like without limping. Never.
Nah.
Love my kicks.
Oh man. So did you watch the fight?
Your fight?
Yeah.
I watched the replay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you think about it overall?
I thought it was good. I didn't think that you looked like when you're on the ground. I didn't think like you looked like it was anything out of your wheelhouse. You're just like, oh yeah, kind of like there. Yeah. It was an interesting fight. Like you guys had a little bit of a back and forth, but I think overall, like you didn't look like it was anything. How do I say this without saying it? Like
just it was another day.
It was just you just kind of went in there and did your thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I know that you said like there's what fighter doesn't have Murphy's Law thrown at them right before a fight? If you haven't had that Murphy's Law week right before your fight or the week before, it'll happen. Like don't get discouraged. And so I know what you said. You're like, man, I had so much other shit going on that back and forth really didn't hit me as much until I was in the fight, and then I was down to the throw.
Yeah.
And so I've sparred you before. When you're down to throw and when you're playing touch and playing around, you you hit way harder than it looks or feels, and it's way faster. So, like, I can see it or not see it, depending on how you're throwing it. So, watching you trade a little bit, I'm like, oh, he wants to get a little bit of this out. So, I don't know if that was the outside of stuff or the talk or just kind of everything coming together. But you look like you got a little bit of that out, but you're just like, boom, another day, another dollar, fucking move forward.
Yeah, I mean, even going before the fight, it just felt like the whole world was closing in on me. I mean, I'm not afraid to necessarily talk about it, but with having a wedding was supposed to happen here shortly, and like on the 28th of June, and then that not happening, and then 5 years kind of gone out the window, and then having to fight, and then fighting somebody who just wants to talk to the whole world about me to the extent of it, and then that itself topping off, because that would never have bothered me in the past. And then going into the fight, like walking in, seeing my ex's uncle, who I cared about that whole entire family, and they came out even with everything to support me, and they told me that they loved me and all this stuff, and like
it's a tough situation, man.
Yeah, I teared up before I walked out there, and then that song I loved.
I didn't hear. I don't know which song it is.
It's Morgan Wallen. I'm a little.
Oh yeah. Okay, yep. And now as soon as you said that, yeah, Morgan Wallen. But walking in there like that, man, fucking definitely adds a little edge to stuff. Because you know how you try to be as calm as possible and try to just kind of do business. When you got that emotion fucking flooding, ugh.
I mean, that's the first time in like 10 years that I've walked out like that. Because most of the time when I'm walking out, it's a more lighter country song. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to go in there and have fun. But within this aspect of it, it was just like, this song here hits me deep. And he's been talking a lot. That's one reason I stood up. Because of everything else in life, but then also to teach somebody a lesson. So that aspect of it. And when you were talking about when I was on the ground and he was trying to shoot those elbows, man, I was relaxed.
That's what the look on your face was kind of like, whatever. Kind of just, it was like nonchalant.
Taking a break, resting.
But I haven't really sparred Malik. I like Malik. Like, I don't think he's a bad. He's gonna hate saying this because he likes to be. He doesn't want to not be the bad guy. But I like Malik. I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he showed some humility in the show, this last show that he did. Talking to me, he's like, I knew it was up in competition. You know,
I remember the Nasona thing.
Well,
I watched that.
He kind of goes back and forth, but like when you sit down with him, like he's not like that. I think it's
like, I don't think that he's that guy.
I don't think anybody's that guy.
But having that outward persona makes me not like that and not wanting to meet him on the other side of it.
Right. And then it kind of has like I don't like to say the villain aspect, but when you kind of, when you make people that are good-hearted not want to be good-hearted, that you're really pushing people the wrong direction. And I like Malik again. I don't know how he wants to go about it, but
I mean, everybody's have a villain in them.
Yeah,
I know I do.
Like, oh, I know. I used to go to a dark place.
Yeah, but then again, it's like not.
But I did it in my own way. Yeah, and you do this in your own way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And we're all gonna have that. And I think the sport does need people that are the talkers, like the ones that are going to be like that, win, lose, or draw. Because, like I was saying, like I don't know anybody that hasn't fucking lost. So, like we were talking earlier about Conor McGregor, and then he becoming the notorious Conor McGregor. Like he built himself up to a degree, and you always look at the good guy versus the bad guy. The good guy, people want to show up. You know what I mean? People want to like support. The bad guy, like once you create yourself of that, like you rob yourself of opportunities, like burning the bridge before you even get there.
Yeah,
you know, and I don't like seeing people do that to themselves. Not that I'm not talking about Malik anymore and anybody, but like you look at the Conor McGregor's, like specifically, he built himself up and then he crossed that bridge and then set fucking fire to it. And then people were willing to throw the fucking bridge back over to fucking let him cross again. You know what I mean? Because of that draw. You already have a draw like that as a nice guy. So it's not like you can't be one way or the other.
Man, I'm just not that other side.
Me neither.
Like it takes too much energy.
I think it does. Like I want to use that energy to train or recover.
Be happy.
I am happy. So I told you earlier about like I've had a couple opponents that were doing the shit talking. Like like fuck this guy, I'm gonna knock him out first round. Didn't happen. You know what I mean? When I talk to people and they're like, everybody like, oh, you fought that guy? They're like, yeah, fuck that guy. Every single one that talks shit to me like that, and I'm like, no, I don't disrespect them. I don't dislike them. I shared a ring with them. I don't care. You know what I mean? I can let people be who they are.
Yeah.
I'm very neutral and like, hey, you're you, I'm me. But then you look at the community today. There's like, I think 3 or 4 people that were doing that shit talking because sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
And everyone's trying to make a name, but I don't know any of those people are today. Respectfully.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't like seeing, I like our community to be big.
Yeah.
I like it to grow. Like, don't X yourself out of the community before, you get there.
I mean, I agree with that 100%. And yeah, it's just spaced out a little bit about it though.
Sorry, I was ranting there a little bit.
I mean, I agree with you about not setting a name and also having that big of a mouth and talking so much that the community itself wants to push you out.
Mm.
But I mean, within growing a community and having that, I've always thought a smile can win anybody over.
Mm-hmm.
And just being good-hearted, but not being a pusher over to the extent of it, and that's where the mini villain kind of comes out and people see you one way and then they see you irritated and then you just look at them. I mean, we're all human.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I feel like a lot of people forget.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's something I am relearning every day as a coach, man. Like how complex people are, how to take people as they are, because you're going to have good days and bad days, and so am I. My bad day might be meeting your good day, and you might form a bad opinion about me on my bad day because while you're in your good day, and it could just like we could flip that. You never know.
Yeah.
Take people as they are. Like just if they're having a bad day or if they're not conducive to you, it doesn't really have to affect you.
No.
So.
As a coach, as with myself, right? I teach a jiu-jitsu class over at 10 Kicks, but
say it again.
10 Kicks on Saturdays at 9:30 and also Mondays at 5.
You guys have been doing a lot more media promotion. Looks good.
Oh, yeah.
Like doing a good job of it.
Oh my god. I think Curtis with Rent Free Combat, I saw the video montage they made of me. I've watched that like 500 times.
You want to give him one more? Curtis at who?
Curtis with Rent Free Combat. Find him on Instagram. Amazing photographer and also amazing videographer.
Yeah. Send me that profile.
Yeah.
And then I'll tag him in the video.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So trying to do these promotions and help each other out, build a community as we can.
That's the only way to do it, right?
But you coach at 10 Kicks, as you were saying.
Yeah, I was just kind of reiterating on what you were saying about having bad days and good days.
Mm-hmm.
Man, every day that I show up for my class, I talk so much crap. Like not in a bad way, like verbal just sparring. My way. And like if they're not doing, I'm just very straightforward. But with a happy smile and just you're not doing it right, you suck. But you're getting it.
I call it verbal sparring. Yeah. or the coach's roast. Yeah.
The truth and honesty that they don't get outside the gym.
Yep.
But overall, my students, they know me. I'm very consistent at what I do, and they don't really judge me in any other aspect because they know what I'm going to bring to the table. Mm-hmm. Anybody new come to my class, I always tell them, I'm not going to remember your name.
That's a good policy because I have students that I gave up on knowing their name. And then the last time I asked, I'm like, dude, I've been coming here for 6 months. You don't know my name? Like,
Like, bro,
I know almost everybody's name, but there's one or two, and then when they react like that, I'm like, hey, I'll pick it up elsewhere if you're gonna get upset about it.
Bro, I've known someone for 10 years. Never knew her name. And she's over at 10 Kicks right now. Now I know her, Joanna.
Mm-hmm.
But I've known her for like 10, 11 years. But and
you're still like, hey.
Yeah, I know everyone's face.
Right.
Like, I can remember you, but like when you tell me your name, it just goes out. And then unless you like even if you make yourself memorable to that aspect of it, unless I say your name a lot, I'm just not going to remember it. Because I don't think
it's something that you have to jog your memory with. There's a book that I like to read. I don't do it enough, but I think it's Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. But he would talk about when you meet somebody new, write their name down right in front of them. And it does like a couple things. It solidifies it in your name or your brain. You actually did a physical thing with their name, and it shows them that you care enough to take time out of your day to remember their name. So it can go both ways, but that's a big investment in the time that we can't stop in the gym. We can't stop coaching like that to go write something down. So I get it, but
I guess when I say it that way, I don't really care that much. Right. There's so many people.
When I was in management, I would do that with my workers because I'm going to see them every day, and I want them to have that good impression. At the gym, no disrespect, but if I'm like, all right, you got to step like this to throw this kick. This is how. This is why. Blah blah blah. And somebody new comes in and I'm like, hi, I'm Tim. Tim's probably not going to make it that long.
No.
I'm going to learn everything about Tim, or even just his name, for to have to let it go. For Tanya to show up the next day and do the same fucking thing, for, go down the list, fucking read the book of babies' names. I've heard them all, right? Fucking heard them all. I don't remember everybody. Here's a quick point to your point, though.
Yeah.
Since I started the show, I've been going out to a few shows. This doesn't happen much, but somebody will come up and be like, "What's up, Zach?" And I'm like, "Hey, I'm sorry, what's your name?"
That's when you need a buddy right there. To be like, hey,
But no, it'll be somebody like I haven't interacted with in person yet.
Yeah.
And so even if I'm like friends with them on Instagram or whatever, and I feel fucking so awkward. Because I don't know, because I'm a nice guy. I don't want to be like, it's new to me. I think that's what it is. It is new. I try to be very personal. Like I know a lot of people in the community over time, just like you do.
Yeah.
I'm also kind of like, I'm outgoing in person, but I'm not going to walk across the room typically to go like shake everybody's hand.
Yell across the room.
Because when we're in there at the fighters meetings and stuff, if you're doing that, you're going to be fucking all over the place, not with your fighter, not with your team. And that's
you just don't do that at fights.
No, I don't.
You come in with your team, whoever's fighting, you give them that attention, whatever they need.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody else really matters in that aspect.
Nope. But you develop like the, hey, what's up? That camaraderie. Which
a lot of times like passing by.
That's exactly what it is. But more and more as a coach, because I don't like, we're sitting there, just hurry up and wait, you know what I mean? Or whatever. But nah, man, it's just,
why do you feel awkward with it? I'm curious.
I feel weird when it's like, there's a bunch of people around them like, what's up, Zach? How you doing? And I'm like, hey, how you doing? Well, I'm not really sure. I don't know how to say it. And this only happened, it's starting to happen more and more, but I
don't remember your name.
Yeah. Or something. I'm going to have to develop that mental script.
Just be in the bathroom in the mirror talking.
I don't have to be that far, but yeah. I need to develop this is what I'm going to say when somebody says this, but I'm just like, I don't remember your name. But then I try to go that extra step and follow my Instagram or whatever, but blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But it does happen. So, but it's kind of a weird, good feeling at the same time. It makes me feel like what we're doing here is reaching people, and that's kind of what I want. Because people are going to get to know you a little bit through this episode. People are going to get to know me through this episode. And people are going to be like, oh, I can reach out to him because, he's over in fucking Seattle, blah, blah, blah.
Come on down.
Or whatever it is. Yeah. Or they're doing a sparring thing. I want to go join them. Or, I want to go watch this guy fight after a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and just gives you an opportunity to kind of put that out there. But I've been enjoying doing that. So, glad that you're able to come on.
No, of course. I am happy to.
Yeah. Yeah. So how was life after the fight? Like I always talk about that like fight. You don't have like the specific date of a goal.
Nah, it used to be very, very difficult to like go from highs and then come back to town, and then now you gotta go back to work and go back to reality. But after the fight, I think I was mad that the steakhouse was closed. Okay. I was gonna get a tomahawk steak.
Take note. Do not piss this man off. Keep your steakhouse open.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it is, but I don't.
They closed at like 6 or 7.
That's not
at the
right.
Clearwater Casino. And that's like the only restaurant there besides like their little kiosk thingy with like.
Was that the War Kickboxing? No, that was
that was the past one.
Okay, because I remember we all had to go to the little bar after when you fought Matt, and that was I don't remember.
But they had a steakhouse there that was still open, and I went there. I got me a filet mignon and
savage.
Yeah, it was so good. And then so I get apple juice everywhere. I love apple juice.
Okay, and
over there, the first server got me an off-brand apple juice, and I tasted it. But the next server got me like this. It was just so good.
Like some high quality apple juice.
Some high quality apple
juice. Oh, no. This other person don't know what they're doing. They're new.
But after this past fight, I don't drink, I don't gamble, I don't do anything of that sort. So I ended up driving into town, got me some donuts. And I got me
the fighter's vice.
Yeah.
Donuts and cookies, man.
Donuts, cookies, whatever it is. Sweets. And then some sparkling Martinelli, whatever that stuff is.
That shit is fire.
I got that, went back to the hotel room, just relaxed, watched some TV, and woke up the next day and went home.
I love that. I love a relaxing fight afterward. I always said, like, I take a nice, 8 to 12 hour nap after a fight.
Yeah.
But actually, it's not true. I'm usually standing by myself and at home. Going over the entire night, just bouncing off the wall, and then I'll crash, and then I'll fucking pass out for 8 to 12 hours. But yeah, I don't have much of a vice either like that. I drink socially. Sometimes when we go out, I have a beer, but not, just, or maybe a shot, but then I don't gamble really. Maybe once every couple of years.
But gamble with other people's money.
Yeah. I'm not giving my money away. I work hard for that shit. I got too much other shit to spend it on. But then, my only vice is I'm very cannabis friendly. But that's about it.
I mean, I don't think that's that bad, honestly.
Well, especially as fighters, how hurt we always are. It's it definitely helps, especially when I can't relax or relax the brain.
That's me 24/7.
Yeah.
I think the past couple of nights I've learned how to code, basically. And I've been building this AI bot to basically help me with my investments on Coinbase. So basically it automatically goes through and looks at the, what's it called? The light, what is it? It's like a little light bulb, a candle.
Okay.
And when the investments are going up, the candle turns green.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
it goes through and analyzes the candles and everything.
Talking about for stock trading.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it does all that for me.
Okay.
It's doing that right now at home.
I got you. Okay. As soon as you say candles, I was oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
So I spent 2 nights. I think I've only gotten 4 hours of sleep because I've been building this thing and pissed off at it because as far as coding, you make one little mistake and your whole entire thing doesn't work. And you're going through just
You just reminded me of another little project I'm on that is, dude, one little thing wrong, you're fucked, but I get you.
What's this project?
It's called the Sway City Muay Thai podcast. On that note, I'm going to check, make sure the camera's still going, and that's what I'm talking about. Okay, we're good. So I've been doing these test runs. So this is getting back to it. So I just had to check the camera, make sure it was good. But every fucking episode, something will glitch out. The microphones will go out.
Yeah.
Or my phone will die, or I'll run out of storage. So I'm constantly all right, this is good. I got the cameras charged. I got the fucking microphones charged. I got it plugged in. Got plenty of storage. It's just something always fucks with it. So just getting adamant. I mentioned on the last show that we actually talked about, I was I haven't been able to step up and fork up the money for a nice dedicated device because you're hey, it's $4,000 camera. I'm yeah, it's a lot of money for a podcast I do in my garage, episode 10. But then the other thing is you get like the friends that are supporters and stuff. So they're not like criticizing the podcast necessarily, but they're like, you could up your production value in a large way by adding like tabletop microphones or like a table
if
in
you
between.
could actually come down and spar with us, I do have like I have a storage unit just full of a whole bunch of crap, and also for my materials.
Me too.
And I got like I have probably a lot of those low tabletop microphones. I will get you one of those. Come on down and spar.
All right, we'll talk. Oh, I gotta come spar you for it. I got you.
Not sparring me, but everyone else.
We can spar. Just don't take me out.
I don't.
I'm old.
We sparred last time. I thought I was pretty like.
Oh no, you're great. I got not videos of me and you sparring, but of the day. Yeah. That was a great day.
It was.
Plus, I was like way fatter and out of shape. So here's the thing: is like when I'm in shape, I can spar pretty okay. Like I can hold my own just fine.
I think you did pretty good.
I thank you. But when I'm like a little bit chunky and like out of it, my timings, you know how like when you're like, my timings off and stuff. But I did pretty well that day.
Did you go with that big guy?
There's a couple of them. Which one? Rob came up from Brian Johnson's.
I think that was him.
And then there's the other dude that's he fought. Talking about the other big dude, he's like hella tatted up. Yeah. He wasn't wearing a shirt or whatever. Yeah. That's I can't remember his name. But he just won on WFC the same night Pat won WFC's fights. Yeah. Emerald Queen. Yeah. So he's a big dude. He's tough. He's out of Wave.
Wave Combat. Yeah. I know.
And then the other big dude that came up was Rob. And he's out of Brian Johnson's.
They were pretty fun to spar with. I thought so. But it also comes down to mine when I was first starting off fighting, going against somebody that big. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. This is definitely a mismatch, but we're going to do this.
Yeah.
But also, like, your experience level, I'm sure, is fine. You know, it's like, but no, I get that. Like, that, oh, fuck. There's a big guy. I don't really know him. So.
But I mean, then, like,
I think that's
now,
healthy.
Anyways, it's like we're both fighters. You hit me hard, I know
for sure. For sure,
we're still gonna fight.
Yeah,
but back then, it's like you hit me hard. I wouldn't know what to do.
Oh yeah, remember that. I'm also at the stage where, as a coach, I'm not gonna fight again. I'm 40. Not getting back in there. Like, I'm always tempted.
That's what a lot of people say.
Okay, so let me say, I'm always tempted. The team always was like, you could fucking do this, but like, with a level of experience, you're not going to just jump in and have like a fucking nothing fight, or you shouldn't. You know what I mean? And as a coach, for the same thing, like your resume doesn't really hit that timeout.
Yeah.
But I could get in there and fight. I can have good sparring rounds, but can I do a full fight camp to the standard I know I need to with all these injuries? Like, I got a really bad lower back, like L5S1 ruptured disc.
I never had surgery. What those things are.
Okay. Well, like the disc in between the bones went pop and the inner nucleus squirted out. And so I never had surgery.
Horrible.
Yeah, it is horrible. So like I bend down and I sneeze wrong and I could be out for 4 to 6 weeks.
It sounds like Stanley.
Anybody that has lower back pain or has this is going to be like, oh yeah, they're fucked. Like, try to go through a fight camp like that. Cause I'll do a burpee and you're done it's not just done for the day. You're done for weeks, potentially.
I'd go down to like Colombia and get me those stem cells. That's what I've talked about. There's also, I hear good things about BPC 157 and TB 500. They're peptides that are stacked. Like, it's a peptide stack that is derived from basically your gut peptides. Yeah, look into it. It's like something Boss Rutan did when he was like fucking really bad. Okay. But it's kind of in that same realm of not legal, but like there's workarounds, same kind of thing. But it's just one of those things. I feel like a lot of the stuff
that grow a second dick.
And I feel like a lot of the stuff that aren't legal are actually what's better for you to the extent of it. But it's only not legal because you can't make money from it.
Well, right.
I mean, not us, but...
Well, or the research is like really fucked. That's why everybody was afraid of stem cells back in the day. It was like the George Bush era fucking thing. There was like, probably going to butcher the fuck out of the actual information. But something about everyone was like, oh, it's the placenta, the afterbirth or whatever like that. That's where you're extracting placenta or something about babies. You know what I mean? But you don't realize that the best stem cells you can get are basically derived from your own body.
Yeah.
So, but it like basically halted all that research. So you had to go outside the United States to even get like legitimate research on that. So think about like now you're going to Mexico and trying to do fucking legitimate medical research in Mexico. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And trying to go to like a high level lab and all of a sudden the cartel shows up. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'd start speaking something.
You hope that gets you away with something. You know, they don't just spray you down before you speak.
They got black Mexican.
Okay.
And
we're back on. Keep going.
I built my second PC. And it's for the gyms because I got mine at home and I spend most of my time at the gym. Mm-hmm. And basically, I still need to build my softwares and do all that stuff while I'm in my downtime.
Right.
But I bought all my stuff over at Best Buy. But I spent 2 days trying to figure something out. I knew that I put everything in the right place, but it just wouldn't turn on. Like nothing. And then yesterday, the LED lights turned on, but every time I press the power button, it'll click on and then it'll turn off. 2 days. I almost threw the PC out the window. Like I was so done with it. And then this morning, come to find out, the cooler, which is just going on the i9 chip itself, was actually defected. Oh. So it was that. And I'm pissed off at Best Buy right now for driving me crazy.
Well, at least you figured it out, though.
Yeah.
First part of fixing a problem is finding out that there is one or where it's at.
Well, the story on that one, I can help you with the mics.
Hell yeah. That'll be dope. We'll put that together. Like you said, I got to come up and spar you for it. Yeah, it's all right. I'm going to give my practice in a little bit first. Huh? You're like, all right. I just want to make sure I'm like dialed in before I come up there. And so I know a couple of people from your gym. I know Cole.
Yeah.
He's cool as fuck. There's a few other people. Like, who else do you guys got on your roster right now?
I mean, there's Cole and Loren. We're like the only fighters there.
It's all right. Usually,
we build up the team. Yeah, or tried to.
Same. Like we've got 3 or 4 real active fighters, and it goes down up to 6 or 8, and then it'll go down to 2.
It's like everyone only stays for a little while.
Yep. Well, and everybody wants to fight while they want to fight. You know what I mean? And then only the long-term ones are the ones that you'll see fighting and coaching or developing into that role.
They actually see the fun in the sport and the understanding.
Yeah. And the understanding that it's a lifestyle. Yeah. And I see like people that they're like a flame that burns hot and bright at first and then burns out. Yeah. And you see the people that kind of adapt it into as a lifestyle. They're usually the ones that kind of stay consistent for longer, even if they have to separate out of the sport for a while to make sure their life is okay to support.
I go crazy though. Dude, have you done that? Like I go freaking nuts if I spend a week out of the gym, because it's definitely an outlet, but then again, it's a community. Mm-hmm. You have a bad day, you come in the tribe. Gym. Yeah, it just lightens up your whole entire day. But a week and a half out the gym, it's like I might end up hitting the next guy that comes up to me.
Well, and you have to understand, like, or anybody listening, like your tribe at your gym, your crew, those people know you. Those people know you on good days, know you on bad days. They know how you're going to react when you get hit. Most people out in the real world, they don't know shit about what's like. The last thing they're thinking is some dude's going to fucking swing on them. And this is what I always say is like, there's a lot of fighters out there you probably wouldn't even fucking know. Because if we were actually dangerous, we'd be swinging on motherfuckers left and right. Yeah. We are controlled.
Oh, that reminds me. The other day, I went down to Renton at the Fred Meyer's, and I was in my I dress like a skater, dirty okay kind of guy when I'm just lazy.
With the hat still?
Nah, not with the hat. I should. All right,
you should just fuck with me. You're in Seattle.
But I went out there, and there's an old guy who was just talking a whole bunch of crap to this lady, and I don't see it at first, and there's a security guard there who's not doing anything. I walk past the security guard. He's like, "Are you going to do something?" I'm still not, just oblivious. I turn around and I see it, and I go back out, and I stand between the lady and this guy. And it's like he just basically wanted to brawl and fight with me. And then I just stood there. I'm like, if you want to fight, we can. Damn. But I'm tired.
Yeah.
But if you want to, we can.
That's fucked.
And he looks over at me. You're going to call the cops and what did he say? You're going to sue me and a whole bunch of stuff. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just gonna end it, and then I'm gonna go buy my TV and go home.
You say mutual combat? Yeah. I don't know if that's actually a thing or legal.
I think it is.
I've heard a lot.
You just gotta have the cops there.
I think that's what, because you ever see that? I'm sure you've seen that with Phoenix Jones back in the day. Fucking Ben. They're like, I'm going to fight people in my costume.
Man, him and his
brother.
His brother, but also when he's going through Capitol Hill with all the other superhero people. Ben's super chill. I've never had a problem with him. Yeah. But all the other guys, man, there was one person that wanted to basically stop me or hold me for something that I didn't even know. I was like, bro, you and your costume's not going to do anything. Leave me alone. That was back in my drinking days, so I was a bit of a...
So you're like, where's Ben? Tell me you're fucking with Johnson.
Yep.
Tell me you're fucking with Nasona. You're like, oh, just leave him alone. You don't want that.
He's at 21 and he's going, no, don't touch him.
Just don't do it. That's what I always say though. Like, don't be that guy out in the civilian world. My buddy calls people that don't fight muggles.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's actually like, it's condescending. I don't say that to people, but it is very accurate of a description of people that don't partake in the sport. Like you ever sit there and spar your buddies that think they're tough and like they just can't even move? You're like, what are you doing? Like that's how even if you coach them up for like a month, they're nothing compared to it. It's like, dude, that's why I always tell people, careful on road rage. You're like, oh, that dude's like a 16-year-old. What if that 16-year-old's a fucking wrestler?
Beat your...
What if that 16-year-old's a state champ wrestler?
Then they're like,
you're fucked.
It doesn't matter. I'm still gonna... No, you're not. No, you're not.
You're like, I'm still gonna... And that's right where you stopped is right where they get taken down. Because it's like, no, dude. No. You just don't do it. Also, like... A lot of people carry concealed. I carry concealed. You carry concealed.
With the world that we live in right now.
Yeah, like how could you not? And then I think that gives people a false sense of security. So like I can't remember the dude's name. He's a comedian because he washes the dishes on Instagram. Talks about training at MMA gym. Yeah. Talked about this before, and he was like, "Why would you?" And like, and we're like, "Oh, I do MMA, or you fight," and you're like, "Oh, well, I carry a gun." So like, so you're gonna like eliminate my life. Like, put yourself in prison, talk about, like, everybody else's life is fucked now because of that, blah, 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 just because you're threatened because I partake in a sport, you know what I mean? Or, like, a specific lifestyle.
Then again, who do you know that's completely, like, really in the sport of MMA, has been training for a long time, that goes out in public, like, I do MMA, when they're about to be, or in a confrontational way?
Not in a confrontational way. Honestly, I do promote my business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like when you're out and somebody, like when I'm out and somebody wants to fight me per se, I just look at them and I get in a stance and I put my hands in my pockets because I know at any point my hands can come out a lot faster than theirs. Mm-hmm. But it's in a way to make them feel comfortable, not necessarily comfortable, but more, what do you say? To make the whole situation kind of drop down.
I just give it to him. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm not trying to get my ass kicked today. I'm just like, oh, fighter. I'm like, yeah, not today, man. Like that's all you. I'm not fighting here now. Or if they're like really trying to be like, oh, what's up? Like, you can come down to my gym, sign a waiver.
Yeah.
And like you know, if you're really trying to be that guy, but like I'm not fighting today. I'm not a fighter.
See, I do that when I'm by myself.
I'm a civilian. I'm a driver. I'm driving today or whatever it is.
Like when I'm by myself, I do that. When I'm with somebody I care about, and like, because that's not okay in my world,
right?
If I'm with somebody, I don't necessarily turn into a more confrontational, but I just tell them they gotta go.
Yeah,
like with a more dead serious face.
And you nope.
Like nope, we're not having that today.
Nope.
We want to, we can, but we're not having it.
Nope. And I'll start making my exit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the best one is when you're just like, nope, and you just make your exit. Because
they sit there talking all loud in the back. Like,
or you find out that they're really aggressive and they're going to pursue you, but you find out right then and there, especially with the no and walk.
They chase after you, that teep kick.
But also, like, I think it really displays, like, who's in control.
Yeah.
You know, like, obviously, like, you're confronting somebody. Like, you have an issue if you're confronting somebody that is obviously, like, in a fighting role. Like what? That's like somebody would be willing to confront the police while in their role. It's like you're living a little bit above your ability.
I always think those individuals as well have so much going on. Like, that's what my perspective always has, because everybody has those inner demons. And, like, they just don't have a way to channel it. And sadly, they put it on others.
Yep.
And that's how they get themselves in trouble. And that really, it hurts in that aspect in that for me, because it's like, I want to build people up, but then again, those people that I want to build up have to want it themselves. Because at the end of the day, they gotta do it. I can't do it for them.
It boils down to, it's not the same aspect, but like I say, first step in fixing the problem is admitting that there is one. And if you're not in a position where you want to improve your life, you're not going to be able to get that improvement by just showing up for somebody else. You gotta find that first.
Basically masking it.
Yeah.
To try to help out, and then continuing to mask it, and all of a sudden you help that person, they leave you, because that always happens. And then now you're in your own world, more pissed off at them, and you don't look at yourself. And it's just like it just keeps building up. And
that's why I firmly believe in building yourself, and the right people show up. Like, build yourself, and those relationships can be temporary. So I always talk about when I worked at Winco, it was a great job. It was a great place to work until it wasn't anymore. It worked until it didn't. And I had to pivot. They made their adjustments. I made mine. And it was just the finality to that time in my life, and I love it because it gave me the ability to build my business right off of that and maintain a financial prosperity to recommit myself back to the gym, which is where my heart always was. Like you said, I always want to get back to my people, always want to get back to my tribe. And now that I'm back there, things are in full swing. Past few years, I mean, I just decided to go full in on social media the beginning of this year. So
kudos to you, because I think about it. I do go a week. I'm like, I can't stand this.
Dude, that's exactly how I feel. So I feel like such an asshole. I'll break out the camera at the gym, like recording, and I'm like, God, I'm recording instead of coaching right now, even if it's for 30 seconds. But I feel like such a tool. It's like, fuck, man. Like, this is, well, also, like, I'm like, how much of this is that narcissistic, look at me. I'm like, fuck, man. So that's why I'm down to have a podcast. I'm like, all right, I can have people on and sit down and bullshit.
It's not just you, it's somebody else, and it makes it better.
Yeah, because I did not want to do the thing where I'm sitting looking at the camera and having a conversation. Not that that's a bad thing, because I watch those and I get a lot of perspective. I just don't want to do it.
Exactly. I mean, I've tried it in the car. I never posted it. It's still on my
But at least you tried it. Dude, I've fucking recorded like 2 hours to get a 10-second intro video. There's one where I'm like, watch my new show. I'm Coach Zach. Fucking blah, blah, blah. It was like 40 minutes of me. So I've got this little head thing. This is a focus mitt from All Strike by Rev Gear. It's got a little handle in here, right?
Oh, that's dope.
It's a little fucking head, but you can sit there and punch it. I had it sitting up by the camera. And I'm like, how the fuck do people do this? I had to put a head up there so it looks like I'm talking to a person, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It was just the weirdest shit. I don't get how people do it, but once you get over that,
I mean, they must love the way that they talk, and because when I sit there and I do it, I'm like, I sound horrible. And then I kind of get in my head about it, and then finally I get out of it. I'm never gonna post that.
So it's funny because the first handful of videos, I'm like, hear myself start talking. I'm like, nope, just turn it off. Like, I don't even want to. Like, nope, I can't even listen to myself talk. And I've gotten over that. So it was one of the guys at our gym, Paul. He was editing a video, and I'm like, is that me talking? Or no, I didn't recognize it was me talking at first because I didn't really recognize my voice. And he shows me it talking. I was like, I fucking see myself talking to the camera. I've gotten over it because this being episode 10, it's like 15, 20 hours worth of fucking footage. So talk a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's easier to talk when you got somebody else there because it's just hanging out.
Yeah. So I did all my little close buddies for the first couple ones, kind of like working out the awkward, finding out what not to do.
I wanted to touch back a little bit on what you were talking about on people kind of leaving and like kind of like not necessarily leaving, but relationships ending. Mm-hmm. There's this one quote that I loved. It's like, people are only in your life for a season. And when that season's over, there's always the next season.
Yep.
And at that point, that's when you develop yourself with somebody else will come in. And maybe in that aspect of it, that person will last a little bit longer, but you gain so much when you just focus on yourself and the individual is there instead of thinking about the one behind.
Yep. That's actually beautiful. That's a great way to say that. That's better than the way I say it. Fucking, you know how, like you said, you don't want to put yourself out there, like face on video, but you like going out and getting that clarity on your own. So the way I kind of do that when I don't have time is I'll journal. Not even necessarily journal.
I got books.
Hey, take an excerpt. People actually fucking love that. And then all you're really doing is like posting something real quick. You can take it right back down if you want. You can post it to a close friends list or whatever. See, like, you can test the waters with that. But you've been doing this for a long time. People are going to value your perspective, especially if it's like something that's real. Like, most people don't journal shit that's not real. Yeah. They're not going to fucking pump themselves up in a fake way and take their time out to do it like that. But that could be something. Just saying. Like, I would, like, if you put that, if I saw that you posted something from like your journal entry, I would take the time to read it. And I love showing love to everybody, so I'm always smashing the heart button.
See, I love those. I love those friendships that actually take the time to read it. But then there's always those people that got something to say that just really irks me in a way, and then that just takes it. It takes that away.
Yeah.
And then that's why when I was I think 23 or 24, I used to go into like secondary schools, not secondary schools. Like when you mess up in high school, you go to another school,
alternative school.
Yeah, alternative school. Yeah. I go over there and I give speeches and talks to them because I went through so much in my childhood, and then they're still going through whatever. So it's like
there's an alternative school right down from where I grew up, Challenger. That might be something. I never thought about that.
Let's go over there and talk to them like that. I can do that all day long compared to posting out. And even when I do that, some of the kids don't hear me. But then when you're
never gonna reach everybody, bro.
No, you never are. But when you give a little bit more attention to those kids that aren't paying attention to that extent of it, and not necessarily telling them what to do, but just sharing what your experiences
and showing that you're there and you care. Yep.
Yeah, that's all they want. Because a lot of them don't get that.
Yeah. Yep. That's it's unfortunate downside. I've had my experiences to a level with that, feeling like as a little kid, like, I mean, I did have parents that cared, but like not having anyone to really turn to, not having friends and not having a group. So like somebody that would kind of go out of their way, that would definitely have meant a lot. I mean, I'm sure it happened, but
just some
doing that extra effort.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of had I got African parents, so they don't show any emotion at all. When I was younger, I just got my butt whooped, and then there's love there in a different way. Like, my mom would always be there for me, whatever, and back me up. But there's no love in a way. There's no "I love you" aspect of it, or more. There's no emotional touch to it. So then that's where I kind of started to put my stuff away, and that's why I think that's one aspect why I can't talk or share what's going on inside, and it's very difficult for me. But growing up, I had so many people that I knew and hung out with, and that itself, like when we were talking about, just kind of masking everything away and spending time with everyone else. And then when you get by yourself in the room, and just like everything hits you all at once,
you gotta face it.
Yeah, hate those demons at nighttime.
I actually had like a really fucked up dream recently. It was the same thing, but like, when you just kind of keep pushing off the emotions because you're so busy and like it was just like, fucking ain't escaping me when you're asleep, motherfucker. I'm gonna catch up to you. I was like, damn it. But I woke up and I was like, it was just a dream. It's all right. And like very logical approach towards it, but still hit. It's like, ugh.
Have you ever had those dreams where you're awake and then you feel like something's holding you down and you can't move?
Yeah, like that paralysis shit. Yeah, it hasn't happened in a long time.
Me too, but I still remember all of them, and it's like the scariest thing.
I remember I felt like I was getting attacked by a bunch of cats when I had like Pet Sematary or some fucking scary movie when I was a kid. It's like in the living room sleeping on the floor and I couldn't move of the house I grew up in. Yeah, I get it. Get those fucked up fucking dreams, man. Fuck them dreams. I did have a fucked up dream that was recurring, but it was like I got this thing about snakes. I hate snakes. I hate snakes. No, let's not get into it. All right,
come on.
All right, we gotta get into it. Make sure we're still going. All right, time. So the reason I don't like snakes. Growing up with my grandma's like Yosemite Sam's fucking sister from Looney Tunes, the rootinest, tootinest little fucking short guy with the guns. Anyway, we used to always go over to Eastern Washington like a couple times during the summer, and we go to like Banks Lake, and there'd always be rattlesnakes everywhere. And she'd be like, "Don't fucking go over there, you'll get fucking bit." She's always talking shit about how bad snakes are. So imprinted in my head that snakes are really bad. My mom definitely is afraid of snakes. Gardener snake, fucking screaming and running. Then I'm like, so I always talk about this kid that lived across the street. His name was Luke. He had a big family, bunch of brothers, like a sister or two, anywhere. A little bit more like, I don't want to say like white trashy, but so there's a big patch of sticker bushes in the lot right next door before the house was built. They would go like get buckets of gardener snakes, right? And so I get back from whatever the fuck was happening. And I'm like, oh, I don't really like snakes or whatever. I mean, these kids were bullies. So he fucking grabs it. He's like, oh, you don't like snakes? And grabs a handful and throws them on me. Like, and so they're fucking, I'm already freaked out by snakes, having a bunch of snakes fucking, freak the fuck out. And so, yeah, I don't like snakes, bro.
I think of that as like them having a bucket of spiders. Because I hate.
I say like people don't like snakes or spiders. Like, I'm fine with spiders as long as they're not crawling on me. I'm like, what's up, dude?
See, if they're this big, that's fine. Like with my ex,
yeah,
I had a little buddy spider like next to the toilet. That's my buddy.
Your buddy's
he
spider.
stayed in that corner, and I was fine with
his
like,
home.
If you're there, you're good. But then when they get any bigger, I'm gonna kill you no matter. I'm like, I'll
sorry, homie, you're too big for my house. I'm the big dog in here.
But when they're small, I just leave them. They mind their own business.
Yeah.
I mind my own business.
I feel like most of them do. They always say like if you take a spider or something outside, you think you're doing it a favor, but it's gonna die. It's like not like acclimated to living outside, and it's like, oh, I guess I see that. If I see the fucking Black Widow or even the Black Widow that doesn't have the hourglass in it, I'm stomping that motherfucker, and then I'm leaving the area.
Have you seen a hobo spider?
Oh yeah, dude, a kid I knew when I was like in my early 20s got bit on the hip by one, and it's like it goes on like a conical fucking thing. It was in his hip. It was a fucking like probably like not quite a baseball size, but in between a baseball and a golf ball.
Yeah.
Size fucking cone dug out of his hip, dude. Fucking sick. Yeah, hobo spiders are bad.
It's like at 18, I was living over, not 18, 20, I was living over on Lake City Way. And it's like an older house. Before, I had a couple of roommates and everything, and I was going to head out of town and go fight over in Hawaii. That fight was awesome, by the way.
Nice.
Those Hawaiians, like, that's probably one of the hardest fights I've ever fought. They don't go down.
They're hard. They got that heart.
Yeah. But back to the story. When I was leaving, one of my roommates found a hobo spider and put it inside a bowl or a cup, and then just came out and started. So I'm like, I'm moving out when I get back, but I didn't have the money, of course, to move out. So when I got back, I went and bombed the whole house. I was like, no, this is not happening.
Go grab that jar and fucking huck it off a hill.
Those things are so scary, bro.
Yeah, fuck that. Some big ass spider.
Yeah,
but. No, the snake thing, that one was mine. But I forget where we were. Oh, I had a dream. We were talking about this. I had a dream. That's all right. This is how conversations go. Yeah. They just go always back. But I had this recurring dream when I was a little kid, and then I had it when I was a little older, that I was like a G.I. Joe character. It was like, but we're driving the fucking snake inside the head, but the snake's inside of a fucking terrarium or whatever.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest dream, but I had it like 2-3 times. Fucking random.
So you were comfortable with the snake in your dream?
I think it had to be like a mech. It had to be like a robotic snake. Like I felt like it was like G.I. Joe-esque. Okay. Remember the cartoon?
Yeah.
Go Joe. Yeah, and it was like fucking fuck you, hey G.I. Joe or whatever. But yeah, or something like it was like a very cartoonish thing, but it was like it was just something that kept happening, and it's always like stuck in my brain. So I get when you're talking about like the sleep paralysis stuff like that, and you have those ones that stick with you. It's like that.
Mine are always like demons and shit. They just come out and like I don't even know why my brain goes over there, but like I am just like held down and they're just trying to kill me, and I'm just freaking out. And like out of nowhere, you think in your head, just move your hand. It's not real. And I get up and I go grab my Bible, I put it on the nightstand.
I'm just like, go away. No, I haven't had that problem yet. But so we're getting to the point where I know you got to cut your time off. You got any other things you want to say? Give your gym a couple more shout outs, businesses, et cetera, et cetera.
I mean, honestly, if you guys are ever in Seattle, stop by the gym. We're very, very friendly and welcoming. We talk a whole bunch of shit, basically, but it's all loving care. On top of that, if you guys ever need I own a general contracting company and also electrical contracting company. Very well priced out. We are very busy as well. If I don't answer my phone, don't be hurt. Just leave a voicemail. It's funny how people don't leave voicemails anymore.
They don't.
Like, I don't call people back.
I don't pick up my phone. I get like 20, 30 fucking calls a day. I scam unless I know who it is. Yeah. And half of them will be like 253 or 206 area code. And they're like, do you want to sell your home? Like, motherfucker.
When you pick the phone up and he goes, boop, it's a spam call.
Oh yeah, I don't even really answer them like that anymore. I used to though, but like after I can't remember if it was like I paid off my truck, but then I run a small business and stuff like that outside of the Muay Thai thing. So you end up getting, your name gets on lists and shit like that, and you end up getting those fucking calls. Once in a great while, it'll be like Tom from down the road or some shit, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot you had my numbers, didn't save it or whatever. But motherfucker, send me a text like, this is so and so. Can I give you a call?
Yeah. Or leave a voicemail.
It's pretty easy.
Don't just call me and expect me to call you back when I don't even know who it is.
Especially if it's a business thing. Yeah. If it's a business thing, like, have that little bit of grace. Yeah. Or they just move on to the next fucking person.
I mean, there's just so much work out there. You don't leave a voicemail, I'm not going to chase you.
Yeah, you don't know any better. You don't know not to.
When I first started, though, I was chasing.
Well, that's actually probably good.
No, because then you start to drop your prices down, and then you people please, and then you don't make any money. And then once you realize that people respect you more when you're charging more, I don't understand it.
Such a weird thing.
I do not understand it. But you charge more, they'll go with you.
Yep, we've talked about that at the gym at length. When people, it's like knowing your value, knowing your worth, and then being like, no, I'm going to stick to my guns. And I was like, well, maybe this guy fucking does a good job, has a little bit of self-worth, self-pride. I don't know what triggers that, but there's something there.
I think that there's like the horror stories as well. Like my favorite thing to tell people when they say my prices are too high, I tell them, well, you can go with a lower price and just call me when they mess up, because I'll be here, but it's going to be double the cost. Yeah. Because then now I got to fix their stuff, and then you're going to take a look at that. And now you want to measure everything, make sure it's all perfect. But overall, you let me know what you want. Yeah. And you walk out.
And they're like, oh, well, fuck. And then that's food for thought. Because then now they're like moving forward that level of education, or at least thought process, hopefully, like, fucking the cheap guy probably will give us a bad price, or like a shitty deal, or cut the corners or whatever.
Or just leave the job site and not finish it.
Which is so bad. I cannot believe that's so bad. Like, you should, like, you gotta lose licenses and shit over that, right?
Surprisingly, you don't. I mean, the whole labor and contractor, whatever industry here in Washington, like, you have a bond, which if you leave a job, it's only $4,000 or so that they can claim against your bond. Mm-hmm. And after that, they take you to small claims court, which takes forever. Like, I've actually
more money.
Yeah, it doesn't cost that much for small claims court. Like, I've had a customer take me there because I wouldn't do past what my contract stated, and they wanted me to do more work. And they took me to small claims court. I brought everything to the judge, and I explained it to the judge. The judge basically just
dismissed it.
Yeah, but people are just, especially in the construction industry, it's not just the contractors, it's also the homeowners. And that's why you have to be very picky. It's like, I see it as, as within general contracting, we're dating for a while.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be there for 4 months.
Yeah.
I'm going to see you in the mornings, maybe your worst times and your best times.
You have to be comfortable with the person to a degree.
Yeah.
For sure. Like having them in your home, first of all.
You got to be happy with them, and it's a speed dating thing the first time.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you're chasing because you really want the money, or you just don't care, that's when you have a very, very hard job. Because then now they're pissed off over nothing. Because their day was horrible. And they come back and they put it all on you, even though you've been working 12 hours, 14 hours for them. You put in all this time because you want them to be happy, and you're putting more of your effort in killing your body for them, but they don't respect it. So I learned that the hard way.
Yeah. No, I have similar stuff. I was selling stuff online for a bit, and I would always notice I'd sell something cheap. And then people would get home, like get a bad review at like 5 p.m. Like this.
Or that 1 a.m. review. I'm like, what are you doing at 1 a.m. to leave me a review?
Well, and it'd just always be the cheap shit and a bunch of nonsense. You're like, yeah, this wasn't there. But like, it's fully disclosed. So it's just dumb shit. Just people being petty at the end of the bad day kind of thing. I was like,
when my mom came back from Africa, she said this one thing. People in Africa are not really that mad. They're happy. Because they don't really have cell phones. And if you want to talk bad or talk some crap about someone, you gotta walk 5.
It's just not worth it.
You gotta walk so far. Like, you have to be really, really mad to walk 10 miles to go tell somebody something.
Yeah.
So overall,
but you need to be willing to fight to go like some shit like that, not just fucking talk some shit. Yeah. Oh man. So give a couple more shout outs before we cut this down.
I just want everyone to check out Rent Free Combat on Instagram. Curtis and his brother are amazing videographers, and they really do a lot of great work, and they're building up their company as well. I think they've been doing it for a couple years or so, and they're really getting off the ground. I just want to give them a huge shout out. If you go on my Instagram, JN Black Lightning, and you look at some of their work, I mean, I fell in love with it. On top of that, I just want to thank my coach, and thank you for having me on the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming.
It was awesome.
Yes, sir. Couple quick shout outs that I did already give, but shout out to the homies at Muay. And shout out to my gym, Sri Silk Muay Thai, Vital Jiu Jitsu, Brian Jones Jr. Fight Team. Juan has his business just like mine. His is called Be More Muay Thai. Mine is Sway City Muay Thai. So, and shout out to my boys over at Karma Combat.
Can I say one thing, Juan? I'm going to get you for those body shots. Because every single time, you always end up bruising my rib. I don't know how you get it. Actually, I probably do, but...
He's going to want to do a reaction video, be like, ooh, you know, this fucking little howl. I fucking love it. I give him shit because I tell him he has when he gets real laugh over bullshit, and he'll give me the Elmer Fudd laugh. He'll be like, that fucking kills me every time. I'll be halfway across the gym and he'll do it, and I'll start busting up. Like, that's how you know you're fucking getting him. But yeah.
That's that community vibe, man. I love it.
I love it, man. Right. Let's keep growing the community.
Let's do it, guys.
All right. We out.
Yeah.
That's a good show. Let's make sure we got that. Yep. Oh, nice. And it was another 30 minutes. Perfect.